Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. And we're back. And of course, I'm having a little bit of technical problems. That's normal for me. But I'm coming back. Let me see. We open up page 75. So I think I was working on yesterday. Yeah, I was working on 75 yesterday. Yeah. And then I've got 74. I like to open up the previous pages so I don't vary too widely from one to the other. And also, I saw a few things on 74 that I want to mess with, but that may be something I do tomorrow. This is going to be a short broadcast because I'm teaching today. There's some of the things down here I don't like, down this bottom one. The other ones, they're okay. But the bottom one, I think there needs to be a shadow running across here. Otherwise, how do you explain this? There'd be something coming across here. Anyway, I'll fix that. I'll fix that in a little while. Yeah, you see these things, and you're always having to do adjustments. So this is Dave Greg Taylor, author and writer and chief cook and bottle washer at Blue Boy Brown. And we're having fun this morning doing what we usually do, which used to be daily. Used to do it Saturday and Sunday, but now I'm only doing it weekdays. And so that's good because you need a break. You can't just keep on doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. So there we go. So let's. Yesterday I had a great day. Old student of mine came by, Ruben Puccinelli, who's just graduated from last year. Graduated from Ringling School of Art, which is a really good school over in St. Petersburg, Florida, that connected to the museum that the Ringling Barnum Bailey Brothers Circus started. You'd think a circus and a museum? Yep, they had culture. They weren't a bunch of they knew what they were doing. And then of course this school started, which is a really nice school. So now he's got some really cool stuff going on. And I'm proud of him because I had him in my classes about 11 years ago. He graduated, so he kept on plugging away at it, and he's through, and now he's doing great. So wish him all the luck in the world. Just have to work your tail off at it because it just doesn't work unless you work all the time. And do it when you're young, because when you get old like me, it's tough. Oh, today I'm gonna go back into it. Right now, I think, we're just putting it in color. We're just put in the color that I need to use to start making variations and get my so I can make shadows and stuff like that. So I'm going to use this color. I saw a few little things here, right there. Let's see if that works. And I think this is going to happen. I think this is going to happen soon. Going to have some comic creators, some European comic creators on the live stream who are going to show us what they're up to. And that'll be cool because one of the nicest things about this live stream and all this other stuff is that I've got fans in Europe and Mexico. I saw Mexico was reading my comic today, and France today also, and all over the world, Spain, all types of places, reading Blue Boy Brown. So, so now some of these guys are also fellow creators and really, really nice people. And so I want to feature them one day. Just get everybody together and they can talk about their comic, the whole 9 yards, and that'll be a nice thing to add as a feature on the show. Occasionally, have some other creators come in, and it's not just me talking about this and that. A few things here. And let me see. So we got this old boy here has that color hair. We got to get rid of the tone because that affects it. That's his color hair. And we'll color sheriff deputies or whatever I called them. They come out to investigate the murder of Clifford Wayne Earp. And so old Leroy's, they don't have the Miranda rights in 1914, so he's just opened up his big mouth. He's going to stick his foot in it. Do, 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 do. Okay, a little more there. I'm just kind of putting in places where I didn't get the flesh color in. Put that in there. His flesh color is not gonna be too wonderful a thing because his flesh has been mangled some. As you see, this is not a children's book. Back in the 70s, I was an underground cartoonist. Back when we were all just crazy as all get out. And so children's stories are not what we were doing back then. I was a very minor person in that. But it's all just doing stories that talk about life. Oh, really? Anybody here ever read? This is from the 1950s. I actually have this book. I got it on eBay. Called Crow Boy, and it's about a boy who nobody has anything to do with. He's poor. He walks for miles and miles and miles to school every day. Doesn't participate. Doesn't do anything. And all through his years in grammar school. I suppose at that time all they did was go to grammar school. He nobody thought anything about him. And on the last day, when I guess there's some kind of thing. Well, what can you do? What can you do? This boy imitates bird calls, and he has the most amazing gift for bird calls, mimicking bird calls. And after that, everybody respects him. He goes and he works, gets one of those 9-to-5 jobs. But after that, everybody realizes that this boy had hidden talents. It's a really cool story, and I read it when I was like 6 years old, something like that. And it had a huge effect on me. I loved that story. I always remembered it. Not too many books I read back then that I absolutely remember. But that one always stuck with me. And one day I just got on eBay and said, Crow Boy. And there it was. So I got it. And it's just a wonderful story. It's a little bit messed up because it is I think it's like a first edition. And so it was printed in 1955. And so it'd been through a lot. And now it's safely with me. And at least during my lifetime, it's going to be fine. Huh. So I'll just keep that book safe. It'd be in the Dave Greg Taylor archives, if there ever was one. I doubt that. Okay. A little more of this guy's mousy brown hair. And I might as well go after his hair here too. It's a little goofy looking. I'm going back into my Facebook page. It says it's having troubles. There it is. Well, why don't you try it? Laura, if you're having trouble seeing it, enlarge your screen. Turn it sideways. Don't. You can always make it full screen, or if you're on a phone, turn it landscape. If it's a landscape, it'll fill the screen, and then you won't have to worry about that. This whole thing of being too small to see is why I use larger text in the word balloons and narration boxes in what's this? Oh, in the webcomic, then I'll actually use in print, because on the web you just can't eat all these small things are difficult to read on a phone. So I use pretty big type to make sure people can read it. And then I'll use smaller type in the print, which means I'm going to have to do a little bit of rewriting because I'll be able to actually say more. I've had to pare down some of the dialogue in some parts of the book because of those little problems, but that's just what you do when you adapt to one medium to another. Okay, got his hat. His hat's also down here. La 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 la. Anything down here? Yep, this guy's hat's down here. Okay. So what are these guys wearing over here? See, that's why I go to a different. I keep these previous pages open so that I have the color for this. I just have a map. I don't exactly have them mapped out on a sheet of paper what colors I'm going to use. I just go from page to page to page. Look at the previous page. What color did I use there? And you can always make little adjustments here and there. But that little gray makes his face stand out a bit. Okay. And it's down here too. I gotta fix that border over there. I took a little notch out of this part of the page. There was a panel running across here. When I open this page, it's a template that I use that I got from my printer. And so I just used it page to page, and in one of the previous iterations, it had a border coming across like this. So I just had to move it down, but I clipped it, so it's easy to fix. And he's still wearing a jacket over here. I can get that guy's hair. That's what I was bugging me. Sometimes these bug you don't even know what they are. Okay. Mousy brown hair goes over here too. Well, this guy's life's gone in the toilet. That happens. Make some dumb move, and it takes the rest of your life to fix it. Okay. Now, what color jacket is this guy wearing over here? Take this away. And that thing there. And so that's what he's wearing over there. I have somewhere a video of me drawing this, I believe. Let me see if I can find it. Let me open up my Finder. Look up under comic book vids. If I had that there. Now you're going to be mean to me, aren't you? Yeah. I'll have to open up Frumpy dialog box for that. Don't open it up over there. Let me see. Comic book vids. There it is. Let me see if I got page 75. I sure do. I actually have page 74 too. Stupid of me. Let me look up page 75. It's not like we're on. Oh, yeah. Let's show that one. Now let's take the video, the sound down. Don't need that. So what I do when I am working on this is that I have a sketchbook that I do my main layouts and actually do some pretty finished stuff in. And then I scan them. I print them out on a laser printer, the exact size that I want my drawings to be on the comic page. And then I take a piece of carbon paper. Yeah, carbon paper. And I use that to get the bare outline on. And then I go over all that and create a contour drawing. And that is what I'm working off of right now. And I don't know where I did this. I either did it at the college using my phone as my camera, which I found out that my phone is as good a camera as a camera that I paid $500 for. Oh God, I think you should find out. Should have known that before I spent all that money on that video camera. Anyway, so I finally learned that a left-hander always puts the camera above. I'm on a little tripod holder, and I put the camera up to my right and above, so it's over to the right of my hand, so that I don't even when I'm getting kind of tight like I am here, you can still see the lines. You can still see what I'm doing. I learned that the hard way. And I'm just using a Bic mechanical pencil here, the ones you can buy at CVS or Walgreens or just about any old place you want to find. Office Depot, you can find these things. Real easy to find, and the cool thing about them is all their graphite is made in France, and so it's really high quality stuff. Probably from the same vein of graphite that they found that changed people from using chalk all the time and brush and ink to using pencil. And with an 007 pencil lead, you can get something that looks like you were drawing in ink. It doesn't scan. It looks like ink now. It doesn't scan this way. It scans gray, but Photoshop has layers, and on those layers you can do levels, and those levels you can increase the whiteness of the paper and increase the darkness of all the gray areas, and before you know it, you got something that looks like you had a halfway decent inker working for you. So those of you guys that are really good pencilers, well, if your inker ever says, I don't want to work for you anymore, this is what you do. Of course, that doesn't, if you're working for DC or Marvel, that doesn't have anything to do with the price rise. Nah, nobody cares. This is for us indies. We're doing it all ourselves. And I was halfway good at inking when I was a kid, but as you get older, it just takes so much time to do a really good ink job. And this, you just boom, 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 boom. You don't have to calculate every dadgum line, or because when you're drawing like this, it's a snap. Not difficult at all. And you can erase it. You got an eraser on the end of that pencil. You can do anything you want to. Isn't that cool? I'm not the first person to do this, but hey, I've seen other people do this. And I got the idea from a ceramics artist. She didn't exactly tell me to do this. She just left this pencil on her desk. I said, can I use this pencil? She said, yeah. I started using it because I didn't bring a pencil that day. And it turned out to be one of these things, a cheaper version of this. I got a nice best version of this when I went to buy my first thing. This finally I realized I just went and got a mechanical pencil, and it was horrible. Those cheap things made in China, and so I realized they actually were they weren't, it was like some kind of knockoff graphite. It wasn't real graphite. Didn't give you blacks, and there wasn't any variation to the line. And so I realized you have to use Bic refills. You can't have any other type of refill. I haven't found any that actually perform the way these do. But it actually is. I understand now why Alex Toth used mechanical pencils in his storyboards and all the stuff that he was doing I think especially after he started doing storyboards for Space Ghost and Johnny Quest and things like that. Then he really went to town, and I understand the whole thing now. I had a real low opinion of mechanical pencils for years, but because I hadn't experienced any of these mechanical pencils, I was getting those mechanical pencils that you'd get, in a grocery store or something like that, and they just didn't have good lead. The lead was just disgusting. Whereas this lead, well, the proof's in the pudding. You can see what it does. You can feather it. You can, like a quick line that you release at the end of the stroke, and you get a feather. Boom. See? Woo! Woo-hoo. Makes life a whole lot easier. I'm digging it. So now I'm working on in After Effects to create a video for my planned Kickstarter campaign. It's gonna rock. I've got the idea already in my head. I know exactly how to do it. There's a lot of technical things, and I haven't done After Effects for quite a long time, so I have to get my chops back. But I've got plenty of time to do it, so I'll be um, working on that in the next couple of weeks. And I have to do the base drawing. I'm going to do something very much like this, and then color it and everything, and put it in, scan it, and put it in Photoshop, and then I have to do all types of nifty things in it. But it'll be all right. It'll be cool. And we got this guy down here. And I decided to show one of the shots from that window behind him, which is always a good idea. I think the difference between what I did when I was 20, when I was getting published on a fairly regular basis, and now is that I've got enough experience to look at all types of different art forms, especially movies and photography and stuff like that, and master painters and printmakers and stuff like that. Looking at the entire history of art. I've got all that experience so that I understand how to mix up movie shots and stuff like that. I don't think I understood that when I was a kid. I got a dose of it when I visited with Gilbert Shelton back in '73 and watched him do a Furry Freak Brothers comic strip for that week. And I said, wait a second, this is not something I had thought of. And I realized he was using movie shots. He's doing all kinds of stuff. And he's also getting typical things like, a middle shot with silhouettes, which is like, that's bread and butter comic strip stuff. But hey, I was just a kid. And so I had to learn along the way. And teaching cinema, when I was teaching humanities courses in college, it really helped a lot, boy. Now you're looking at really, really great cinema. And then you're not only looking at it, because, I've looked at a lot of movies along the way, but you're analyzing them. When you teach, you got to analyze. You got to say, this is what the person was doing. This is what the director was doing. And this is why the director did that. And so you got to do a lot of research. You got to read. You got everything like that. You just start realizing this is adaptable to comics. And so that's what the comic book people have always been doing. But yeah, maybe I was just a big dummy back then. That's a real good possibility. Anybody who knew me back then probably say, "That's it, Taylor. You're a big dummy." And this is kind of overlapping and everything. I got that from printmaking. You can do it just about anything you want to with a pencil that you used to do in printmaking. At least with hard ground, though I've done things in pencil in this comic that you'd say if it was in printmaking, it would be aquatint. You'd say, "Oh, you did aquatint, or you did a mezzotint, or something like that." Now, more like an aquatint. And it sure is a whole lot easier than applying rosin to a copper plate and put it on a hot plate and put it in acid and all that other stuff. How much more time we got? Oh, we're about this is about 30 minutes. We have about 20 minutes to go. Okay. Hey, not like we're on a deadline or anything like that. What I'll probably do tomorrow is I'll be on at 10, but because I don't have a college class to teach, I'll anything I haven't done on this page, I'll do. And I'm also going to go all the way until I finish page 76. And that'll get me 2 weeks ahead. I like being 2 weeks ahead, which I haven't had a chance to do for a while. I was like 4 or 5 weeks ahead in January and February. Then I got sidelined by some design work. See, I just start with this simple contour line drawing, which I've been doing since I was a kid. And then you just embellish it as if you were an inker. I don't. Most people are doing digital inking these days, so I don't know all about that. What I've noticed is that at my age, my hand is probably just not steady enough to do digital inking the way that like somebody like Joe Sinnott or Ralph Cabrera can do, who are just like those guys produce the most flawless, clean ink lines. Well, I mean, I may be beyond the point where I can do that. You get to a certain point and you can't. And so, what I do when I go into digital stuff, and I have to for a lot of this stuff because I'll scan it, I'll stick it in Photoshop. I'll say, oh, I missed something, so I have to do it in digitally. I use that kind of quivering thing. The fact that I can't, it's real difficult to make a perfect parabola line or something like that. So I use that kind of quirkiness as a part of the style, which if you look at um, Charlie Schultz, when he got into his late 60s, early 70s, you'll notice that his lines started to quiver. It used to be a really beautiful, beautiful line back when he was younger. But then as he got older, it just got and I know what was going on. So he incorporated that made it consistent, and so you really never noticed it. He's a pretty smart guy. I like him. I was nuts about Charles Schultz when I was 14 or 15, something like that. I had all the Peanuts, those soft cover digests that they used to come out with in the 60s. They cost like a dollar. You can get them on eBay now. They don't cost $1 now. But you can still buy them on eBay. And they're wonderful. I still love Peanuts. I'll always love Peanuts. Peanuts and Calvin and Hobbes and Pogo. Those guys can draw. Joshua Watterson and and Kelly. Boy, beautiful use of line. And those guys were inking. They were using ink. Sorry, you got to use ink. See why I love this so much? It's like bing, bang, boom, boom. It's done. And this is all stuff I learned from I got it from some looking at a collection of little studies by Raphael that he'd done for some of his Madonnas. And I realized what he was doing. I said, I'm going to start doing that. And I said, whoa. Okay. Okay, it's back. I lost my screen for a second there. Okay. That's a good way to lose viewers. Anyway, the digital world's so squirrely. And so I don't even know what am I saying. I was talking about Charlie Schultz and his quivering hand, like that. As you get older, you just adapt. Oh, I was looking at Raphael's drawings. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was looking at Raphael's drawings. I still remember the exact drawing where the the light switch went on in my head, and I realized how to draw, which seemed to be some kind of esoteric um, secret in when I was taking drawing classes, as if they wouldn't tell you, oh, this is how you do it. Like you're supposed to discover it for yourself. Okay, I did. Thank you. It's one of the reasons why in all my art classes I've said I give away the store. Anything I know, now you know. I don't hold anything back. This is how I did this, and I demonstrated. And, most people who are artists or visual learners, they want to see how it's done. You can't just tell them. The great peeves of my whole uh, college and art school career was um, a drawing teacher telling me to draw the space between the objects. I said, how do you do that? He says, well, you'll find out. I said, what? You're not going to tell me? You can tell me how to do something? Tell me to do something. You're not going to tell me how it's done. So I don't know. Maybe they didn't know how to do it. Anyway, that's how you do it. You do it, the simplest thing in the world. It has to do with the value of your strokes, the largeness of your strokes, and they just get smaller and lighter as you and simpler as you recede into the background, which it's obviously I wasn't that bright as I was young. It took me a while to figure that out if I had to on my own. Whereas I've had in my teaching career, I've had kids who are like coming to my classes at 14, 15 years old. They naturally produce these semi masterpieces when they were just a tyke, and I was going, gee, well, I can tell what was going on when all the talent was being given out. I guess I got the leftovers. Well, also they were going to a big city school, or I went to a little Midwestern school where nobody was professional artists. I didn't know any professional artists for many, many years. Whereas in a big city like I teach in, half the art teachers are actually professional artists in one way or another. Uh, all these contour lines are simple stuff. Busy with work. So busy with work. Just wanted to drop by. Hope the art. Well, where's my comments? I guess it'll come up in a few minutes. I don't see your comments on my dashboard, Ruben. Let me see if I can see it now. Okay, busy with work. Just want to drop by. Hope the art is flowing. It's flowing. I'm actually just showing a video. Since I have a video of this page I'm working on when I actually was doing my thing with a mechanical pencil. I thought I'd show the video before I finish coloring it, just as a demonstration how you can use a mechanical pencil as if you were inking. And especially in video, it looks like you're inking, whereas when you scan it, it's gray. But you got levels in Photoshop that fix that problem. Yep, I do have a telekinetic third hand drawing off screen, but I keep that in the box. It's in a lockbox in the bedroom. Oh, I got what am I doing on the side there? Gee, I didn't do that. This the this is getting squirrely. You do that. No reason you guys should see my ugly face. There, that's bigger too. Yeah, that's better. And I go up to the top after this. And I do think this. I did this at home. I think because I made uh, an overhead boom out of PVC pipe, which is real simple to do. You just go to Home Depot and cut it up and put it together with those joints that they have that you can buy. And I attached it to a really nice tripod that I got years ago, and it works real nice. And which will be good because soon I'm going to have to move into another room that do all this because they're going to put a new roof on my Florida room. It's going to make all types of racket. So I'm going to move to the front of the house. Maybe it'll be a little less racket up there. Shouldn't be able to hear it, but if I stayed in this room, it's going to be happening right overhead. And that'd be very, very, it'll just ruin everything. Where do I have that? Somewhere. I don't have it here. I guess I don't. Nope, that's not it. I don't see it. I was going to look for that Gables. I thought I had that Gables yearbook in this room, but I guess I don't. Oh well, I'll have to figure that one out later. That's the problem. Poor old Blue Boy. He only cries from his eyes, but then his nose starts to water and snot come out of his nose. Oh, I tell you, be young. It's just horrible. Yeah, just like a little 4-year-old, snot coming out of his nose, going into his mouth, and running down his nose. So I got about a half hour to go in this. I got about 6 minutes before this is over, but I got about a half hour before I have to call it a day. And I would come back tonight. I did that once where I came back at night. I'll think about it, but I really need to start working on my Kickstarter video, because I have it in my mind now. I know it's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Fortunately, back in the 90s, when the web started, I was an early adopter of the web. I had a website in like 95, 96. And I reconnected with all the old everyman guys from Colorado. And Artie Romero was into animation, had been for years. I didn't know this. Last time I talked to him, he was doing something else totally different. He was publishing new wave comics. And, it kind of intrigued me, to do animation. I wasn't going to be doing full animation or anything like that, but I started doing little animated GIFs. And I even got a few awards from the Animated GIF Artists Guild. They weren't that difficult to get. They weren't too difficult to get an award from these guys. But I understand animation. That's the thing. I understand what animation's about. I understand how to get a full animation, how to do full animation. And I taught animation on the high school level in conjunction with Apple back in the early 2000s, when I did all these art history texts. I did these interactive history texts about the Normandy invasion and slavery in the Western world and Holocaust. I did a couple of Holocaust projects, and they're all interactive, and I was doing all types of animations with my students and stuff like that. And the district in Apple noticed it, and they started this big initiative to teach web design to high school kids, and I was one of the people invited to do it because I was basically the first one to do it. And so I was teaching animation to all these high school kids, and some of them actually went on to do it. It became got jobs in the industry and the whole 9 yards. One of them's the designer for all the Mickey and Minnie Mouse toys that you see in the Disney stores. He's basically the guy who's designing all of them. He's having a great time, man. They're enjoying that. I think a lot of these kids always wanted to work for Disney. A couple of my kids always wanted to work for Disney. Well, several of them are working for Disney. One of them was involved in building the Avatar theme park for Disney, and also I think it was Avatar, and then Star Wars. She's working on Star Wars. I don't know exactly what she's doing right now. I think Star Wars is finished, but they're always working on it and everything like that. And I'm sure that Disney will get back into the swing of things once the pandemic is eased up. Can't last forever. Unfortunately, the World Health Organization said that asymptomatic people rarely transmit the disease. So there's not much reason to keep everybody shut down if you're not showing symptoms. And you haven't been around anybody who's showing symptoms, then maybe they'll let up. Who knows? I'm not in the government, so I don't have anything to say about it. Anyway, I'm a high-risk group. I'm an old man who's diabetes, so I'm taking this real seriously. Whereas young people, you get a cold, it's feel like a cold, and you get the sniffles and stuff like that. And but me, like me, God forbid I get that junk. Fortunately, I've only had the flu once in my entire life. I was 28, got over it in 2 days. But when you had it, I fell down, couldn't stand up. When it hit me right in the middle of a snowstorm. I was outside shoveling the walk, shoveling the driveway, came in, collapsed. And I was, but 3 or 4 days later, I was back at work. This is about it, I think. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Now, go back to, where's Photoshoppy? Okay, Photoshoppy. Yeah, there you are, Photoshoppy. Okay, so there's where we are. See that stuff? So let's see if I can do a little more of this. Thought I might as well show that. Now, Blue Boy's pants. Blue Boy's wearing pants, fortunately. Huh. Now, pants. Give it that color, just for the fun of it. Okay, right there. Na. Okay. Got that, and he's lifting his leg as far as I can see. Yep, he's lifting his leg. Saying, I saw this, I saw that, oh my God. And there's also his pants, those short pants his mommy made for him because he keeps growing so much that she can't keep up with him. So I'll fix you make you some long pants when you stop growing, boy. Ooh. I'm kind of looking forward to the print version of this comic. Because it's cool as it is to read it on your website or to see it on your monitor. There is something about printed pages that are just super cool. Okay, he's not there. Okay, you got that. Ink on paper, it's really good paper. It's really well printed and everything. It's pretty righteous. Okie dokie do. Dokie dokie. Okay. So, what do we got going on here? Oh, we had this guy with this color jacket, and it could be a lighter color. Yeah, tiny bit lighter. Over here, and why don't I do something smart and save this thing? Occasionally I do something smart. And here we have, okay, so we're going to color this. Wait a second, what's going on here? Brush tool, just regular brush tool. We're going to color this guy's jacket. It's sort of like a bomber's jacket, which really didn't come into vogue until Indiana Jones. After that, everybody was wearing one. Even I bought one. I wonder how much they cost now, because I spent like $200 on mine in 1988 or something like that. They must cost a fortune now, or they're cheap. Mine, I've had mine for over 30 years, and it looks just like I bought it yesterday. Really, really good jacket. One of the nice things about getting older is that you don't mess up your clothes. When you're young, you mess up your clothes for some reason. Young people mess up their clothes. It just really goes bad. Is that really my color of that guy's jacket? Let me look. Oh, yeah, let me look. Did I really get that guy's jacket? Let me see. Sort of. Let's make it a little. Let's give it a little more pizzazz here. And did I? This guy, yeah, that's the color. Khaki. I gave his pants. So I gotta do that again. Laura, you must be using Siri to translate your. You must be saying something into Siri, and Siri is notorious for giving you, not giving you what you want. Or Alexa, or Bixby. Bixby bothers me all the time. Every time I turn around, Bixby wants me to interact with it. And I don't particularly care about interacting with the voice commands on a phone. I found almost universally they don't work. So I don't want to mess with them. That looks more like green, doesn't it? Sure that's khaki? Oh, there is a green khaki. I've got a green pair of khaki green pants. Okay. And so maybe I'll do it like that, and a little like that. A little like, I don't want to cover up all of the white because this is digital watercolor. And that boy had on some boots. So let's do the boots. Gotta be real careful. Okay. Yeah, there's the boots. Now I'm going to use maybe a little darker color for the boots and just let that tone be in there. Yeah. Huh. I don't like that color. I'm going to sweeten it a bit with a little bit of, yeah, a little redder. Don't want to make it too reddish. And unfortunately, it's going to have a little of that black in it, but I think it needs it. Yeah. Here, I'll do it this way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do. Yeah, slight. You need a shift when you use a color like this is a brown and this is a brown, but you need a shift. Otherwise, it's just a little boring. And also, you need a shift to tell you that those planes are slightly different. And it has to be a perceptual shift. It has to be something you can actually perceive. Otherwise, they just sort of blend together because of that good old human tendency called closure, where we have a tendency to group everything that is similar. It's one of the unfortunate things in visual things. Um, it causes us to group together things that um, are similar, like apply when you can apply a line using similar things that are grouped together, and because of closure, we'll group them all together. And conceptually, that always turns to problems because you group things that sort of look like each other. And they may not have anything to do with each other just because they look like each other. Doesn't mean that they are alike. Like saying all snakes are bad. Nope. King snakes are good. They eat all types of rodents, keep the rodent population down. And they're not poisonous. So don't look at a king snake and think that it's a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. And it's the weirdest thing. I'm living here in Florida. I've been living here for 28 years. I have never seen a snake here. Not even once. Not once. I used to see snakes all the time in Missouri. They're all over the place. Copperheads, rattlesnakes, all types of stuff. You have to go out to the Everglades to see snakes here. Okay, now this guy wearing his khaki pants. Hopefully I've got those somewhere. No, I don't. Hecky darn, I'll have to open it. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's his khaki pants. Let's see how I did that. This is more in the orange range. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit like this. So it's a little more, had a little more, nope, we gotta bring it up like that. Okay, like that. And I'm gonna give his pants, of course his pants are gonna be all messed up by the time we get finished. Do. Right before I opened the live stream, I lost page 76. Let me look. I had page 76 done. Boom. I was gonna page 76. There it is. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. Make sure that I didn't lose it. There it is. Okay, I got it. This Joker, yeah. Okay. Huh. Right here. Need to take that flesh color out there. Out there. These ropes should be gray. And that color there doesn't belong there because that's rope. That's rope. Okay. Now I understand. And that's flesh. Let's make it real. Okay. Okay. That's flesh. At least it is for now. Okay. What else we got here? Ooh, what color are we going to make? Let's make this a chromatic neutral. We can play with chromatic neutrals today. Okay. Let's make this 45, 45, 45. And nothing there. Let's see what that looks like. No black in it, but it's a gray. It's more like a tint of brown. But brown officially is a shade of red. Whereas when you get into color theory, you understand you can make just about anything you want to out of cyan, magenta, pardon me, and yellow, except black. You can't make black out of it. You can make an awful dark. You can make an awful dark color out of those. Actually, I ought to experiment with that. In my college textbook, it always says that you can take 3 primary colors and make a true black out of it. And I always say, huh? These guys are art historians. When's the last time you were in the studio? You want black, you're going to have to get some carbon in there, bud. Boop, boop, boop. A tiny bit of coffee for the old man. You got to press a little harder. Yep, press a little harder. I'll have to smudge some of this. Yep, it's smudging time. Yeah, I'll smudge this tiny bit. What's this supposed to be? I don't remember. Well, oh, that's my blur. That blur is worthless. Maybe doing the end of somebody's nose, you can do it, use it, but smudge actually works better. Bub, 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 bub. Rub-a-dub, rub-a-dub, rub-a-dub. Okay. Oh, and this guy's. I missed this poor guy's shoulder again. Look how negligent I am. Okay. Probably my next step is to, I got to start printing out digital proofs of these. Make sure I'm on the right direction. I did that early on, and I got away from it. So it looks like I need to start working on the interior part of this setup. So we do 50, 50, 50. And let's make this 52. Nope. No, that's not right. About 54. Oh. Okay, then this one will be 54. I give up. It's different, but it's not perceptually different. So I'm gonna give this thing here and some of these panels I want to just be simple. And I cannot say, oh, I made that idea. That's something I got straight out of good old Alex Toth. Alex Toth would, in middle shots and far shots, sometimes they would just be, very simple things. And I happen to love that old guy so much. I think I said before, I probably learned how to read. It's hard when you're 4 years old. It's hard to remember anything that for sure. But I know I was reading Zorro comics at the age of 4. I remember it was in Jefferson City, Missouri. Zorro was on the television, and my parents got me an issue of Zorro magazine, those Dell 4-color comics, and Alex Toth was the artist. And it spurred me on, as I remember it, to learn how to read. But also the art was just so good. It's 4-year-old, yeah, I got nothing to compare it to. But it had a huge effect on me. And years later, I happened upon the same thing again when I was collecting comics. I go, oh, I remember this. I remember this guy. And when you get into the art of telling stories and you start looking at Toth realize that. To me, he's the Alex Raymond of comic books. Raymond is Raymond. He's outrageously good. But he never got into comic. He was never in comic books. He was always in comic strips. And Toth, as far as I know, was never in comic strips. He was always in comic books, being treated very badly. Really, just being a comics artist back then was not a particularly lucrative career. I'm sure they all did kind of well, better than the average Joe. If you think about it, in the 50s, 40s, and 50s, if you're making $7,000 a year, you were middle class. These guys are making $25,000 a year. So think about a middle class being, I don't know what middle class is now. I don't think I've been a member of it. Let's say a middle class, let's just say let's say you're a solid middle class if you're making $100,000 a year. And these guys are making 4 times what? 4 to 5 times what the average middle class person was making. So they were doing badly. At least the comic strip guys were. Comic book guys, I don't know. The comic book companies kept their artwork. Not only kept their artwork, they threw away their artwork. They would just burn it. And smart people, I guess working at Marvel and DC and stuff like that, would get it out of the trash bins and take it home. If you had some brains, you'd say, oh, I'm not going to throw this stuff away. Take out the good stuff and keep it. And that's probably why we have some of the old time comic book pages that you see at heritage auctions and things like that. Probably because people got them out of the trash. They just throw these things away. Good old Neil Adams is the one who stopped that. Let's look at that. That's bothering me. I kind of like that. That'll work. But this doesn't. This right here, I've got to fix that. Okay. I'm going to bring that right like that. Okay. And then I'll, yeah, got to fill that with white. Okay. That's bothering me a lot. And that bothers me a lot up here too. Let me see. Yeah, well, I always have to have problems. Okay. It's not too difficult. It'll do it. Bring it all the way up here. And fill it with white. Otherwise, I got that gray stripe over on the left. I don't want that. Okay. Do I have any problems over on the right side? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. No, I'm okay. So lock that again. Bring it back down to color. Okay. This I like. This is kind of modeled. It kind of works. I can dig that. So I'm gonna go back up here, and I'm gonna keep things simple. I'm gonna darken this a bit. Turn this to, let's say, 60. gives me a greenish thing. Make this 55 and this 55. So it's a little darker than that. I'm going to make this 63. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to go back in here. I'm just going to make this real simple. I could draw back in there, but I'm not gonna. Just going to outline this old boy. Make this into very simple, fairly simple page. Ooh, it's time for me to go. I can't stay. I'm going to undo that. And yeah, I'll bring this up. There, now I know what that is. I have to go. I have to teach my class. It's 11:25. I will see you tomorrow. Hope you had fun. I did. Not too many technical problems. Okay, Laura. I know what I know what. Well, Laura, there's a webcomic right here. And it's the best way to get the comic. I sent a friend, one of my Patreon supporters, a piece of artwork in Europe in April. It's still on its way. It's crazy. That's for people outside of the United States. Best way to look at this is blueboybrown.com, and there it's free, which is perfect. So I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys take it easy and be safe, okay? In the broadcast there.